Today we're doing multi-step inequalities. It's just like when we did multi-step equations. Your job is to always get y by itself eventually. So you work out everything you can on one side, work out everything you can on the other side. Then you move variables if needed. Then you solve, right, by moving the rest out of the way. So here, negative 11y minus 13 is greater than 42. So I would add 13 to undo the subtraction. I get negative 11y is greater than 55, which I divide by negative 11. Y over here, and on the other side you get negative 5. What should my sign be?
Less than.
Okay, it should be the less than symbol. Now, I just want to address, the book, especially for you guys when it does the set build notation, it always has the variable on the left. Right? So sometimes, like let's say your variable is on the right, let's say, which it would just look like this, 55 is less than negative 11y, right? And when I solved, this is what I got, negative 5, is greater than y. Okay, so you flip the signs, you flip the sides, and you flip the sign to get this. Or what you could do is when you divide by negative 11, you're going to change your sign, but instead of doing that, you keep it the same, and you flip the variable from the right to the left, keep the sign the same, and then you keep what's on, and what's on this side is flipped to the other side. You still get the same answer, right? I know it's a lot of extra work, but that's just, it's something that confuses people is they get this right here and then flipping it, right? You could have saved yourself a step by just knowing you flip the variable and the number instead of the sign, but it's up to you. I would do this and then flip it, but if you want to save yourself some time.
Which I got it right.
Write this down. My job is to get w by itself, so I would, first thing is subtract 10 both sides. That gives me 13. No, that's not what I wanted. Here, greater than or equal to symbol there, I get negative 2w. So I divide by negative 2. And what I can do is, because I have to write the variable on the left, or at least that's the way the book goes, I can flip w to this side. I keep my sign the same. And I flip 13 divided by negative 2. Which, what is 13 divided by negative 2?
4.5.
Negative 6.5. Good, class. Yeah. There's my answer. Now, if you hadn't switched it, you would have gotten w, which then you change your sign, so you get that, and then you get negative 6.5. But they're the exact same thing, so it doesn't really matter. All right, your homework, sometimes it'll ask you to write out the inequality. So here, write it in the inequality and solve the problem. So 5 minus, so I just write how I see it, 5 minus 6 times the number is more than, so when I see the is more than, you know when I see is, I write the equal sign. So if I see is more than, what should I write? The greater than symbol. Good. That's how you know the difference. The greater than symbol when you see is more than. That's the greater than symbol. Then 4 times the number plus 45. So what I need to do is I need to move the variables from one side to the other. I need to get them on one side. I'm going to move the smaller one, so I'm going to add 6x to both sides. Gives me 5 on this side. Gives me 10x on this side. I'm going to have to subtract 45 to both sides, which 5 minus negative 45, or 5 minus 45 is negative 40, which is greater than 10x. So I divide by 10. X, which I'm flipping it, so x is less than negative 4. If you just worked out the other way, you got negative 4 is greater than x. It's the same thing, so it doesn't matter. I like to move smaller one, but the book likes to move everything to the left. So if you want to do that, if you want to subtract 4x both sides, feel free to do that. Because when you do that, you would divide by -10 and it would change your sign anyway. Any questions? Alright, write this one down. Alright, I see a problem like this. Okay, before I can move variables over, before I can move anything from one side to the other, I have to work everything out that I possibly can. In this case, I need to distribute the 4. Which, this is multiplication, so 4 times 3t is 12t. I drop the sign down, 4 times 5 is 20, plus 7 is greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. Which, before I can do anything, I need to simplify as much as possible. I have like terms right there. So I need to combine those. So I get 12t minus 13 is greater than or equal to 8t plus 3. I'm going to move the smallest variable. I'm going to subtract 8t to both sides. 4t minus 13 is greater than or equal to 3. 4t minus 13 is greater than or equal to 3, so I have to add 13 both sides. 4t is greater than or equal to 16, so I divide by 4. T is greater than or equal to 4. And that's my answer. Now, the reason this says special solutions is there's a couple different things that we haven't talked about that might occur with these problems. So, now they're not going to tell you, hey, this is one of the special ones. It's just going to be a part of the regular problems, and then you need to know what to do if this happens. So, but in this case, you don't know it's special. So, we just treat it like we would. We distribute everything. We want to simplify everything on each side as much as possible first. So here we've got 9t minus 5t plus 25, which is less than or equal to 4t minus 12. I have to add like terms. 9t minus 5t would be 4t, which is less than or equal to 4t minus 12. So I subtract 4t. I'm going to move 4t from one side to the other, which cancels it out. And I'm left with 25 is less than or equal to -12. Is this a true statement?
Yes.
25 is less than or equal to -12.
No.
No, it's not. Okay, it's not. It will never be this way. So if that's the case, then what do you think I write? No solution, or the empty set. Remember that symbol? That means empty set means there's not a number that you can plug in for t that's going to make this inequality true. I distribute the 3 out. I distribute the 6 out. I want to simplify. I want to do is everything I possibly can on each side before I move anything. Which, is that what you guys got? Okay, it should. Now I've got to combine like terms because I see these two constants over here. Constants don't have variables. They're like terms. So I add 42 minus 24. What would that be? I got 18. They're opposite signs, so you would be subtracting 42 minus 24. 12m plus 18. And then I move the 12m over. It cancels out. 18 is less than or equal to 18. Is that a true statement?
Yes.
Yes, so your number, or your answer in this case, is all real numbers. Any questions? Here's your homework for today.